What is up, Not So Pro Football Talk? This is another episode of Bats, week 4 now. The weeks are going by pretty quickly, but I just wanted to do an update while these guys do their shenanigans on the daily. Uh, so last week, Reed, you were the outright winner. AJ and I went 7-9 together, and you went 8-8 here on Bats. I know Sleeper's different, but we'll get that. We'll get to that later on. But there's something I wanted to try new this year. See if this is something that spices it up. I know that we've always just done straight pick'ems. Whatever the record is, the record is. But I've also thrown in Thursday night football, Sunday night football, and Monday night football records. So it's just something to spice it up to make sure that you put a little bit more emphasis on some of these primetime games, So as we see on ESPN, NFL, all those people that don't know how to pick them, including us, because we're doing pretty bad right now too. But not Reed. Reed's doing good.
They call me Prime Time.
Prime Reed.
They call me Prime.
Aren't I still up? I think I'm still up.
No, Reed actually is up on you by 1.
That's right, buddy. There's a new champion around here.
Reed's overall record is 27-21. AJ, yours is 26-22, and I am even at 24-24. So
recount.
Buckle up.
Recount.
Buckle up, buddy. There's a new sheriff in town.
But yeah, so let me get to the Thursday night football games. We are all 1-2, so we all have some improvement to do there this next week in the primetime Thursday night football game. Okay. Sunday night football, we are AJ and Reed. You are 1-2. I am 2-1, so I have the 1-game lead there so far. And then AJ, you and I on Monday night football are 2-1. Reed, you're 1-2 so far. So far, I lead Sunday night football. We all suck at Thursday night football, and me and AJ are tied for Monday night football. So just keep that in mind as we pick these next ones. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, guys. So we got it here, Thursday night football. 8:15 says here, but 7:15 for us Central Timers. This one, I mean, AJ and Reed are going to be covering on Thursday night football later tonight. So the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants here. Honestly, I think this is the first week I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. I just don't know what it is, but I've been doing some research, and Dallas, the past 2 times they've played the New York Giants, have just demolished them. So I think it's something that Dallas is looking forward to finally have a quote unquote easy game. But I think Malik Neighbors and Daniel Jones have been connecting quite well. So I could be totally wrong here. But with the 6 spread here in favor of the Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to go ahead and take them. I think they could possibly do it.
How both these teams are playing, these guys are supposed to have a really good game, right? Dallas Cowboys suck. Giants are supposed to suck, so they kind of suck. They're not fully. So this is supposed to be a good, close game. But because I am one of the hosts for Thursday Night Football here with Reed, and every Thursday Night Football game sucks, it's going to be super uninteresting. Dallas Cowboys are going to take the cake here. I don't feel like they're going to figure it out, but they will cover the spread. Give me the boys -6.
There is always that chance that we all say that the Giants could end up dominating this game and the Cowboys end up losing 3 in a row. But I just have to believe that roster, even though it is missing a lot of different pieces, they're still a better team than the Giants. I think they're better coached than the Giants. I think they're able to figure it out. That locker room is very upset. They're hungry for a win coming into this Thursday night football game. And I think they're going to come out on top. Hopefully it's by 6 points. I'm going to take the Cowboys.
Nice. So all of us in favor of the Cowboys on Thursday night football. We'll go ahead and get to the next game here, starting off the Sunday slate with the New Orleans Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons here are favored by 1. Falcons have been looking good on offense. They haven't been, winning every single game yet, but the New Orleans Saints just had their first loss. And I think they're going to come into Atlanta. I think they're going to keep this one a close one. And I think they come out with the win, even though we just got news that Kamara is dealing with some hip and eye injuries. We'll see what happens, but I think he still plays. So give me New Orleans. I think they cover here, and I think they actually win this game too.
Bro, I need Kamara to be fully healthy. Please, please, please be healthy, Kamara. I think it's gonna be fine. But yeah, there ain't no fluke. I'm not gonna fall for that loss for the Saints last week. And that Falcons, they kept up with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not falling for that either. Give me the New Orleans Saints. Give me Alvin Kamara with 4 tutties this game. Let's freaking go, dog.
Wow.
All right. For the love of God, we need the Saints to win because there is murders happening out there. Every time the New Orleans Saints loses, they were on a 2-win game streak, and there was no murders in New Orleans. And then the Eagles came in and killed somebody. They murdered that man by beating the Saints. We need the Saints to win so that there can be no more murders in New Orleans. Falcons, you just have to lay on the sword for this one. I'm taking the Saints.
Hey man, you heard it there. If you go for the Atlanta Falcons this week in Sleeper, if you are a fan of NSP or you're just a fan watching this video, you are pro murder. So don't be pro murder. Go with us. Pick the Saints. But we'll go on to the next one here. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Indianapolis Colts. Speaking of murder, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to murder the Colts. So just give me straight out Steelers. I think they are doing pretty good. Justin Fields, my guy, is doing pretty well. Just needed a new start. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers here.
I'm not so focused on the Pittsburgh's offense. I'm more focused on their defense and how TJ Watt has been absolutely killing it, giving me 13 to 18 points for fantasy football every single week. I love it. I mean, last week, Anthony Richardson completed 10 passes, 10 completions. Oh, hell no, dude. Pittsburgh's defense going to have a hell day here. Give me a hell of a day. Pittsburgh all the way.
I'm completely in agreement with AJ here about the Steelers defense. They are going to absolutely dominate this game. Anthony Richardson, this might be the end of his career potentially against the Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers here. This is an obvious pick for me.
Alrighty, so we'll all select the Steelers here. We are all in congruence here with every single pick. Let's see about this one. I think we should be as well. But the Jacksonville Jaguars going into Houston. Houston's favored by 6.5 points here. So basically, they need to win by 7. I'm just going to go with the Houston Texans. I think they had a rough game last week, and I think they just bounced back. So give me the Texans.
I want to say they will bounce back, but also last week I said there's no way Jacksonville loses by that much to the Buffalo Bills, and they are just embarrassing. This is an embarrassing team that's going on right now. You have talent on that team on both sides of the ball. They're just not getting anything done. So I think Houston Texans come out and they actually show who they are and just beat the Doonies out of Jacksonville. So give me Houston.
Yeah, I don't like anything that's going on currently in Jacksonville. AJ, I already have these pre-picked, okay, dude?
I'm not even talking about you. I'm not talking about you.
No, I know you are. I'm living rent-free in your head. But I'm taking Jacksonville here. TJ Stroud. TJ Stroud.
I'm in your head.
All right, taking the Texans.
Oh man, that's gonna be a fun one to edit right there. Let me go ahead and select the Houston Texans. We'll go on to the next game though. The Vikings versus the Packers. Ooh, Reed, please tell us what's gonna happen here. You have a guy coming back into his team basically. He now plays for the Vikings. So let us know your thoughts.
He may be drenched and covered in this ugly purple and gold crap, but there's still a G in his heart, man. When he put out that little letter to Green Bay Packers in his return to Lambeau, I honestly shed a tear reading it about all his time in Green Bay. I'm not going to spend too much time on it for the sake of the video. I honestly, if Aaron Jones ran 300 yards against the Packers this game, I would be okay with it because I love Aaron Jones that much. But I'm taking the Packers here. Whether Malik plays or Jordan Love plays, I think we can definitely cover the spread. Even more if Jordan Love plays, I think we can cover the spread. With just Malik, it's going to be tough. This is the Packers' first true test ever since the Eagles. We've had 2 easy games with the backup quarterback, and we've been able to win. Vikings somehow look like a legit team. I don't know. I think this is a true test for both teams to see who they are moving forward. I'm very interested to see, but I think the Packers come up on top in this game. That's how usually the Packers and Vikings split the games. We win at home, they win at home. It's how it works. I'm taking the Packers.
My goodness, Reed, my heart aches for that.
Should
It should.
you got to read it.
I was going to, but I was like, bro, I was like, I don't know. But yeah, give me the Vikings here. I'm going with Vikings here. I can't believe the spread is like this. -3 for the Green Bay Packers. We just all forgotten what the Minnesota Vikings look like here. Like they have a stellar defense. They have an offense that's clicking. Aaron Jones, he's getting his tires rotated right now. And honestly, they're getting healthier. They're getting more exciting. I got the Vikings here, Reed.
Wow. I just love the switch up there. But yeah, I'm actually going with the Vikings here too. In sleeper, I think they are. I think it's sleeper. They're favored by like 1.5 or 2.5. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Vikings here. I'll select them. But Reed, let it be known that Reed goes for the Packers every single week, no matter what circumstance. But we'll move on to the next game. Cincinnati Bengals versus the Carolina Panthers. Bengals are favored by 4 after, a pretty good brawl against the Commanders on Monday Night Football. Carolina Panthers got their first win. I mean, the red rifle there. Gosh, I did not believe it. AJ called it. Me and Reed are astounded that the Carolina Panthers played so well. So this one kind of makes it hard for me to pick. I think I'm going to ride the hot team here. Cincinnati cannot seem to win a game yet. I do not know if it's going to be against the Carolina Panthers. I think they possibly keep this within 4. Give me the Panthers here.
How can you not go with the Panthers here? I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals haven't won a game. They're losing to teams that are honestly not that great, besides the Chiefs, of course, in week 1. And the Panthers look like a whole new team. Give me Carolina. It worked for me last week. I'm going for it again this week. Panthers, keep pounding. Yeah, keep pounding.
All right. So personally, I am going to be shocked and will be shocked if the Cincinnati Bengals end up going 0-4 to start the season. It just doesn't sound right. I know they start off slow, but it just doesn't sound right. But what are you laughing at?
Max is like licking the air, bro. I don't know what he's doing.
A good time. But last week something incredible happened. The Red Rifle turned into the Red Rocket.
Oh no!
Andy Dalton is going to go in and win another game for the Panthers. I don't just got them covering. I think the Panthers win this game. Give me the Panthers.
Awesome. This is a crazy week. I mean, all but one game, and it had to be the Packers versus Vikings. We have all agreed on. So we'll move on to this next one, see if this streak keeps going. But the Los Angeles Rams versus the Chicago Bears. The Rams did stun the 49ers this past week. We won't go into detail there, as AJ did in his post-game interview video. But the Chicago Bears, they actually looked a little bit decent this past week on offense. This one was a hard one for me to pick because I don't know if this was a fluke for the Rams. As AJ was saying, I don't know if the Bears defense is going to let the Rams go there and kind of win over there in Soldier Field. So I think I'm going to go with the Bears here. I think they cover by 3. But this one's going to be a pretty interesting game, just depending on how the Rams play this week.
I would say it was a fluke win. I don't think the Rams are a fluke team. Over here, I think both teams are hurting tremendously, right? You have Keenan Allen coming back for the Chicago Bears, but will he be on a snap count? I'm going to leave it to the coaching here, and I think that the Los Angeles Rams have a great coach, and the Bears are going to get out coached there. So I want to go Los Angeles, but everything's in my bones telling me don't do it. But I'm going to do it anyways. Give me the Rams +3.
All right. This is probably the game I hate the most picking out of all the games this week. I don't like it really. But I'm going to say the Bears are going to win this game just because of their defense, their stellar defense. And we kind of saw Caleb Williams somewhat getting a hang of it last game. They finally had 300 yards passing, and I don't know. I just feel like there's something has to start rolling here for the Bears just a little bit. The offensive line, as long as they can just hold for a little bit and Caleb Williams can get that ball out early, I think they can potentially win this game. I'm going to say Bears. Don't like it, though.
Awesome. So the Bears will be NSP's pick here. We'll move on to this next game that I think is pretty interesting. The Denver Broncos versus the New York Jets. Jets are favored by a whopping 8 here. Yes, they put a hurting last week on, I forgot who they played. I think it was the New York Giants.
It was the Patriots.
The Patriots. There you go. It was somebody over there in that northwestern area, or northeastern area. But the Denver Broncos actually did look good last week too. So it looked like their offense got rolling. It looked like Bo Nix finally got something under control. I don't know whether it was a coaching or maybe just him also getting the ball out quicker, just like Caleb Williams did in his past game. But the rookie quarterbacks are not looking bad. Week 3 was a great week for a majority of them, if not all of them. This one's a hard one. I think I'm going to go with the hot hand here since it is in New York. I think that Denver is going to have a little bit of trouble. This one's hard because I don't know if the Jets can do it, but I think I'm going to go with the Jets here to cover by 8. Might be a big mistake.
Well, I'm jumping off that cliff with you here, Vince, because I'm going with the New York Jets as well. The Broncos don't have a run game, and the Jets secondary is no joke. So making Michael Penix go out there and try to win with his arms is not going to be an easy task for the Denver Broncos. I think the New York Jets will be able to cover easily here in this game.
Bo Nix, right?
Yes, sorry, Bo Nix. Those guys are irrelevant to me.
Whoa. Oh, my gosh. So for me, for this game, I'm going to be saying one thing. I'm going to say Jets, Jets. That's what I'm going with. The Broncos, I don't like anything, and I hate Sean Payton so much. Jets, I think, are coming together. They're clicking on offense. Defensively, they're still playing well. I say they cover this spread.
Not bad. So all in favor again here. Only 2 games that we have not been all in favor for. But this game here, we have a murderous team on the loose. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Buccaneers. Will they bring the murder spree with them to Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay and Florida is pretty bad, so maybe it's already happening. But Philadelphia Eagles are favored by 1 here. I don't know if I want to go with Philly here. I think on Sleeper I went with Tampa Bay. There, it's 1.5 there, but 1 here is just a straight pick 'em. I think I'm still going to go with Tampa Bay. I don't know if the Eagles have it all figured out, especially with Devontae Smith out. A.J. Brown might come back, but again, we still don't know. They weren't at practice today as we're recording on Wednesday. So I'm inclined to think that they're not going to play. So give me Tampa Bay. I think it's just the better pick currently.
Yeah, it's tough. If we had either A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith fully healthy, I think I would go with the Eagles here. But since they do not, I don't have a lot of faith in Tampa Bay's defense, but their offense looks stellar. They're looking to bounce back, and I think they could do it this game as long as they don't make little mistakes. So give me my boy Baker Mayfield, day 1 guy, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
As the true day 1 Baker guy on this podcast, I'm taking the Bucs. I don't like the Eagles on an away game with not their full offense. Barkley will still have a great game, in my opinion. The Bucs are able to win this game, not just cover.
Awesome. So again, all in favor here. We'll go to a good game, in my opinion. This is going to start, I believe, the 3 o'clock time for us. The Commanders versus the Cardinals. I think this one's going to be pretty interesting down there in the desert. Arizona's favored by 3.5. This one's hard for me as well, but I think what I saw last week with the way what's his name? I can't even remember his name right now.
Jaden
Daniels just came to play. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Commanders here. I think Jaden Daniels and company go over there. They have a good running game. They showed us that they can pass the ball pretty well. Arizona might have a tiny bit better defense than the Bengals currently, but I think at least the Washington Commanders cover here. So give me the Commanders.
Yeah, I am not going to go with the Commanders here. I like to watch the Commanders. I think they made a lot of progress last week, right? We finally see Terry McLaurin getting involved, right? You're seeing Jaden Daniels getting more comfortable in that system. I do think this is going to be a close game. Obviously, BetUS thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game. But I want to go with the Arizona Cardinals here. I feel like they have it figured out, and they already know who they are, where the Commanders are still experimenting here and there. I wish the spread was by 3. Unfortunately, 3.5, but I'm still going to give the edge to the Cardinals with a slight chance of regret.
For me, I honestly can't believe the spread isn't closer or the Commanders are in favor, in my opinion. I love what these Commanders are able to do for this past 2 weeks. They've been playing outstanding. Jaden Daniels looks like an already like cool as a cucumber type of quarterback in that pocket, only running when it's necessary or when it's play design. He's not just looking to run; he's looking to throw the ball deep down the field. He's making very well accurate throws all over the field, whether it's short, mid, or long distance. He's playing like a 9-year vet in this league. I love what the Commanders are going to do. I think the Commanders are going to run away with this game, in my opinion. Give me the Commanders.
Awesome. So I'll select the Commanders here. AJ is in favor of the Arizona Cardinals. This next game, though, very interesting. AJ, let us know what happens here.
Okay, so first of all, I got money in this game. Second of all, I have a lot of emotion in this game. Okay, so the Niners, they need to come out and they need to win. They don't just need to win, they need to absolutely destroy and embarrass New England Patriots for everyone to feel okay. We're not going to have Deebo Samuel. We're not going. George Kittle is trying to play. We're not going to have CMC, and I don't know if number 11 is going to be out there mentally. Okay, but one thing's for certain: last game, Brock Purdy's coming off the best game he's had in his career. This guy is on point. He's showing everyone that he doesn't need those players to be great. Right? They didn't win last week, but special teams needs to be addressed, needs to be fixed. We need to hit our kicks. And defense needs to step up a bit. I want to go with my Niners here. As always, bang, bang, Niner gang. This is New England Patriots. We know who they are. Let's remember who we are.
You know, honestly, I was pretty pro Patriots prior to AJ speaking and got my wheels turning. So I'm about to make this pick real time right here. I think the spread is very, very large, way too large for my comfort zone, to be honest. I definitely agree with you, AJ. The Niners need to win big here. All right, they need a dominant win to make them feel good moving forward. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do that. But this Patriots team, remember, we saw them against the Jets, and that offensive line looked horrible. Jacoby Brissett was getting annihilated back out there, where they had to put Drake May, not just because it was garbage time, but because Jacoby was probably hurting pretty bad in that game. There's a chance we may see Drake May again because this Niners defense with Nick Bosa is going to destroy Jacoby again. And I really like the Niners offense and what they're able to do. I think this is a bounce back game for their defense. I'm changing my pick in real time here. I'm going to take the Niners -10.
Oof, man, this one's a crazy one. Yeah, this one is a crazy one. 10 is just a really large spread. I know we were pretty consistent last year with this, but to me, the 49ers just look like a totally different team. Of course, injury takes into factor here. I think I'm still going to go with the Patriots. I think that, oh man, this one's tough because I know that San Francisco is going to rely on the run here, but New England's run defense is actually pretty decent. Their pass defense is, all right too. It's not that great. But I don't know if San Francisco is going to be relying on Jennings again this game or if it's going to be with Ayuk. So I think I'm still going to go with the Patriots here. I think this is way too big of a spread. I think maybe the Patriots will win by like 8 or 9. The San Francisco 49ers will win by 8 or 9. Yeah, sorry. But I think I'm still going to go with the Patriots here. I think if I miss on this one, I won't even be mad because I'm just taking a risk here to try to get some games on y'all. So give me the Patriots. But we'll select the San Francisco 49ers here. I am out picked. But we'll go to this next game. The Cleveland Browns versus the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are favored by 1. This one is just going to be a bad game, in my opinion. I'm not going to care about this game at all. It won't even probably pop up on Red Zone with how bad it is. But give me the Raiders. I think the Browns are just a dumpster fire at this point in time. I have nothing else to say about this game.
The Browns are horrible. The Raiders are horrible. I think there's a lot of changes that are going to be made with the Raiders personnel. We saw a lot of people with head coach saying that a lot of people took business decisions, right? So he's going to make a business decision and make some changes in the team. So what is that going to look like? Not sure. Not sure how they're going to be. But Cleveland's defense is still pretty solid, and I'm going to rely on their defense to hold up and keep them in the game. I think Deshaun gets some, easy give me points. Just enough to allow them to win. So give me the Browns here.
I will also be taking the Browns with you, AJ. I'm not feeling any special way about any of these two teams. I'm just going to pick the Browns because I think they have a better roster, basically.
Awesome. So the Cleveland Browns are NSP's pick here. For the last game in this time slot, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Chargers. The Chargers are looking at a lot of injuries at this time. Really, I feel like the only guy that is, or the only 2 guys that are healthy are, of course, J.K. Dobbins, Ladd McConkey. Everybody else is kind of battling some injuries. We don't know if, I can't
Herbert.
Herbert. Can't think of quarterbacks today. I don't know why. But Justin Herbert is injured. We don't know if he's going to start or if they're going to trend to keep him sat until the bye week is up with the high ankle sprain there. So with all that said, I think Kansas City is going to win this game. By 8 is kind of a stretch for me, but I still think I'm going to do it. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs here. I possibly think they cover this.
All right, so this is a big spread with the Kansas City Chiefs. I would not take this, but Justin Herbert, if he's not playing, I'm not confident in their offense, right? As long as J.K. Dobbins gets his points, gets his bread, that's all I care about here. This is just so big of a spread. I really don't know. I think the Kansas City Chiefs could possibly do this just to make a statement. Oh, dude, I don't like this at all. I want to go with the Chiefs. I hate this spread.
Wow, AJ, I'm really impressed with you that you didn't bring up the refs while talking about the Chiefs. It's a first for you. I'm taking the Chiefs as well, -8. Herbert not being 100%. Even if he does play, there's a chance he gets pulled like last game where he gets hit, and then Harbaugh makes the smart decision of pulling his franchise guy. I think the Chiefs win this by 8 for sure.
Reed, I think this is the first time you didn't mention Taylor Swift while talking about the Chiefs. Good job,
true.
man. You're making some progress.
How funny. I love when these guys are at each other's heels. But we'll go on to the Sunday night football game. So again, keep in mind, guys, we are doing some new records here for Monday night football, Sunday night football, and Thursday night football. So here is the game for Sunday night. Buffalo Bills going to Baltimore to face the Ravens. Ravens are only favored by 1 here. This one's going to be a pretty interesting game. Buffalo Bills are looking pretty dang good with their new offensive scheme. James Cook is doing well. All the receivers there are pretty much feasting. Everybody is getting a good share, especially Khalil Shakir. He is probably the guy that we can say nobody really knew if he was actually going to do it. He was just the possibility of being a good wide receiver. But the Baltimore Ravens look like they've been struggling quite a bit with tough passing teams. So really, it's only their run offense that's doing pretty well, and their defense kind of holds it down every now and then. But I think here I'm just going to go with the hot team. Give me the Buffalo Bills. I think it's kind of a tiny bit disrespectful that they're not favored to win here.
I can't believe that the Ravens are even favored to win. Just like what you were saying, Vincent, this is very shocking to me. Buffalo Bills just put the smack it down on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they look real good, right? They look like they got it together. Their team is, for the most part, healthy. Give me the Buffalo Bills here, covering this and winning by more than 3 points.
This is a tough game for me to pick. I'm going to end up landing on the Ravens because they're their home team. I think I think they're going to figure things out. I think Lamar is a really good quarterback. I like both of these teams moving forward, but I'm going to take Ravens here just because they're home.
Awesome. So we'll select the Bills here. Reed's going for the Ravens in this one. But we'll move to the Monday Night Football game here. There's going to be 2 again. So you'll see me and Reed selecting one of these games to go live for and just keeping tabs on the other. But most likely, if you know what's happening in the NFL, you know we're probably not going to be covering this game. But the Tennessee Titans versus the Dolphins, this one is kind of difficult for me because the Dolphins have a lot of weapons. They have HN, they have Hill, and of course, they have Waddle. But is Skylar Thompson throwing to them? Is Tim Boyle throwing to them? I don't know what's going to go on. Is McDaniels going to have a scheme to get these guys the ball? Because they really couldn't against the Seahawks last week. And then the Tennessee Titans, they're just going through struggles, man. The quarterback ain't it. The receivers kind of ain't it because they can't get the ball. Their running back is here and there with Pollard. He goes off sometimes, but again, it's all game script. So call me crazy, but I mean, I think I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins here. I think they could possibly win. They are favored by 1. So I don't know. I think this is a toss-up. Give me the Dolphins.
This is a toss-up. I really don't know. If the Miami Dolphins could find a way to utilize their weapons with Achane and Tyreek Hill, they could find plenty of ways to win this game, but just get the ball in your playmakers' hands. Tennessee on the other side, they just been blowing games left and right. So hopefully Huntley's ready to go for Miami. I don't think he'll get to start, but I know there's rumors out there. If so, then give me the Miami Dolphins. This is just a disgusting game both ways.
Awesome. I'm going to land on the Titans just because I don't know what the Miami Dolphins are going to be able to do offensively, defensively. Titans at least know that there's a chance Will Levis may be able to put up a couple good drives and the rest will be crap. I just know there's going to be at least 2, maybe 3 good drives. So I'm going to take the Titans.
Alrighty. Well, Reed's going for the Titans here on Monday night. Me and AJ got the Dolphins, and we'll go to the game that we most likely will be covering for sure. It's going to be the later game starting at 7:15 for us. The Seattle Seahawks versus the Detroit Lions. The last 2 times that they've played with Geno here as our quarterback, these have been phenomenal games. High scoring, down to the wire. I think we've split. We're 1-1. Detroit's gotten us once. We've gotten them once. Detroit's favored by 3.5 here. Everybody knows that I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks here. Even though it's not at home, I still think we have an edge here. Our defense is playing well. Offense had a rough game last week with getting stuff going. But I still think for some reason, every time we play the Detroit Lions, we're just both clicking. And I hope here that we can at least cover. But I would love for us to win. So give me the Seahawks.
I feel like the Seahawks this season, they go into one of those like beach pools, you know, where you walk in and it's very shallow, then it gets deeper, then it gets deeper, and then it gets deeper. And now they're about waist tight here. They got a pretty formidable team with the Detroit Lions, and they have a lot of offensive firepower. I'm really curious to see how the Seattle Seahawks hold up here. I think they'll do just fine, but the Detroit Lions are also no joke here. I know they're going through some injuries, but honestly, this is a statement game for both teams, right? Who's going to be in top of their division? I want to go with the Lions here, and I'm not being biased, but I just feel like the Lions have a lot of offensive firepower, and I haven't seen the Seattle Seahawks take on something this big offensively just yet.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good game. Seattle's 3-0. I have a lot of respect for them now. Personally, I don't think they're a pushover team. I said a lot of disparaging things about the Seahawks past 2 years, but I do think they're going to be a good team this year. I'm going to land with the Seahawks here. I think they're just going to be able to keep it close or maybe even come up on top potentially. The Detroit team is very, very good. Aiden Hutchinson's going to eat, in my opinion, that this game. There's going to be a lot going from Vincent. In the past, you have given notes to the Seahawks for me. In the past, here's a note that you need to give them. Watch out for the stupid-ass trick plays that this stupid team runs all the time.
My gosh.
There's going to be at least one
Gotta beat
You
that
know it's
up.
coming. All right, so watch out for the trick plays.
Yeah, I will say for sure there was one great play by the Lions this past week that should probably be highlighted as one of the best plays of the season, most likely. But yeah, I definitely think that Seattle is going to be prepared. I know McDonald has had the Detroit Lions number every time he's played against them. So hopefully that defense holds up for us. We have some returning guys on both sides of the ball. Hopefully Kenneth Walker is one of them too. But I think it's going to be good. So yeah, Seattle Seahawks will be the pick here for NSP, but AJ has the Lions here. So it should be pretty interesting. But those are going to be our picks, guys. I mean, this one was a little bit of a longer video, but I feel like every single week it's just getting tougher and tougher to pick these games. Reed made a good comment before we went live saying that this is the time when we should probably have it figured out with the teams knowing who they are. But it feels like I'm no closer to figuring out who everybody is in week 4. So hopefully after this week, we have a little bit of a better picture. But if not, I mean, we'll just see how the standings turn out. So again, guys, if you like who we picked, go ahead and tell us in the comments there. If you didn't like it, of course, preach to us. Tell us why we're wrong. But again, go down in the Discord if you want to join us in picking some of these games. We do have a league in Sleeper that allows us to pick every single matchup. Of course, your record will be different than ours as we've already been doing this from week 1. But we just want to see how the fans look at these games as well. It gives us a little bit of insight. And of course, we love interacting with you guys. But this is week 4, guys. You have any comments before we start it?
A lot of must-win games.
Go Pack, go.
Awesome. Well, as always, guys, leave a like, leave a comment. Please subscribe as we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. AJ has some little incentives there that we'll probably talk about in another video as this one's already long. But but yeah, guys, have a good week 4. Hopefully your team wins and hopefully you've picked the right teams in these pick'em videos. So other than that, as we always say, keep on grinding.